This man suddenly found a way to make some easy money, as long as he pretends to be blind. Not only could he sit in front of a temple and beg with honor, and earn 3 times as much as other people. Even when he crosses the street, there are kind people to help him. He can even live in a government-supplied room for free as a blind man, but that's not his limit. He uses his status as a pianist to play the piano in other people's homes, because no one would be afraid of a blind man, so he could often spy on the privacy of many hostesses. But he didn't know that pretending to be blind would become the most regretted thing in his life. That day he went to celebrate the birthday of a rich man's wife, but when he opened the door, the woman didn't seem to want to let him in. She claimed that he might have misremembered the time, but Jack had already taken a deposit from the tycoon, and there was a sizable balance due at the end of the show. He certainly couldn't have gotten the time wrong. While they were arguing, the noise attracted the attention of an elderly neighbor woman. The woman didn't seem to want to attract the neighbor's attention, so she let him in. After ascertaining that Jack was truly blind, the woman let him play the piano, but he was shocked by what he saw, because there was a dead body lying in the living room. He finally realized why the woman didn't want to let him in, but he can't show that he's nervous. He could only excuse himself to go to the bathroom when he passed by the living room. In order to make himself look more like a blind man, he deliberately stepped on the blood on the floor. He thought that going to the bathroom would help him calm down, but he didn't expect that this is the most horrible place, because the murderer was hiding behind him with a gun. He was so scared that he couldn't breathe. He was afraid that he'd be found out and killed. Luckily, he did a good job of pretending and didn't arouse his suspicion. When he went back to the living room, he realized that the man lying on the floor was the tycoon himself, although he was terrified at the moment. But he could only pretend to be calm and continue to play the piano. The woman pretended to be contacting the tycoon, and said the tycoon would be here in 10 minutes. Then they disposed of the tycoon's body in front of Jack. Soon they put the body into a suitcase. They're ready to haul it out and destroy it. The tycoon's wife went to the door to create the illusion of welcoming the tycoon home. Then she took out a recording of the tycoon's life. She pretended to be talking to her husband in front of Jack. The man put on the tycoon's clothes and dragged his suitcase out of the house. After leaving the tycoon's house, Jack didn't go home. He sat on the side of the road and hesitated to call the police, because the tycoon was not only a famous local charity worker, and he tipped him handsomely every time he visited the bar where he sang. He didn't expect that the man he was laughing with yesterday would be murdered by his own wife today. After half an hour's hesitation, Jack was determined to go to the police to seek justice for the rich man. When he arrived at the police station, he told the police that he wanted to report a murder, but then he saw the man who was hiding in the bathroom, and he's the chief of police.